Welcome, dear students, to the research methodology class. In the previous class, we were discussing about the research process. In the research process, sampling technique is a very important activity. In this class, we are discussing about the different methods of sampling. Mainly, there are two types of sampling: probability sampling and non-probability sampling. So the sampling methods are divided into two: probability sampling and non-probability sampling. First one, probability sampling. Probability sampling is a sampling method where the researcher selects samples from a larger population using a method based on the theory of probability. In the probability theory, we explain the chance of being selected to a particular activity. So the chance of being selected or to be included is studied in the probability theory. In this probability sampling, everybody in the population is having an equal chance to being selected as sample. Probability sampling gives you a best chance to select a sample which is truly representative of the population. For example, if you are going to study about the students of Marthoma College Chungathara, in our college there are students from different groups, different communities, different income groups are studying. If we select them randomly, if we select them by using probability sampling, there is an opportunity or there is a chance to get all the types of students in the sample. So there are different types of probability sampling. First one, simple random sampling. Simple random sampling is a sampling technique where every item in the population has an equal chance of being selected in the sample. In this case, the selection is based on the chance or by probability, and it is also known as a method of chance. This simple random sampling is done by taking lottery or through a number table based on a software. From simple random sampling is a technique where the samples are selected by taking lots. It is also known as a method of chance. From simple random sampling, the samples are selected by lots. Second one is stratified random sampling. As all of you know, in the population there may be different stratas, different groups of people with some similarities. In stratified random sampling, the population is stratified into a number of overlapping subpopulations or strata, that is groups, and samples are selected from each strata. Members in each of these groups should be distinct so that every member in all groups get equal opportunity to be selected using simple probability. This sampling method is also known as random quota sampling. Age, socio-economic divisions, nationality, religion, educational level, etc. may be the basis. So for example, we are going to study about the consumers. We want to group the consumers into, for example, male and female. So there are two strata. You have to select some samples from the male category and some from the female category. So two stratas are there. Selecting samples from the different subpopulation or strata is followed in this sampling method. Third one, cluster sampling. cluster sampling means in which the researcher divide the population into multiple groups or clusters for the population. So the researcher creates multiple clusters of people and they are of homogeneous characteristics and have equal chance of being part of the sample. So in cluster sampling also, samples are selected from each cluster by using random sampling or probability sampling. Then systematic sampling. It is also a method of probability sampling where the researcher chooses elements from a target population by selecting a random starting point and selects sample members after a fixed sampling interval. In this case, each member of the group is selected at regular periods to form a sample. For example, in our class there are 20 students. We want to select 5 students. So we select the first student, the 5th student, 10th student, 15th students and 20th students as sample. That means there is a sampling interval of 5. So in systematic sampling, we select a sample by a method of regular periods to form a sample. Then multi-stage sampling. Multi-stage sampling is also a method of probability sampling. For example, if we want to study about the peculiarity, the consumer satisfaction of public sector banks. So banks in Kerala. So if we want to study the whole Kerala, we can select some representative district by dividing the state into 3 regions. For example, one district from one area. Then one block will be identified. In a district, there may be so many blocks. We will identify one block. Then we will select one panchayat. Then we will select one branch of bank. So there is multi-stage random sampling process. So multi-stage random sampling is also a type of probability sampling. These are the major types of probability sampling. Now we are going to non-probability sampling. In the case of non-probability sampling, the researcher selects the samples based on his experience. So non-probability sampling is a technique in which the researcher selects sample based on the subjective judgment of the researcher rather than random selection. This sampling method depends heavily on the expertise of the researcher. So the researcher's experience helps him to select the sample. This is carried out by observation. The researchers use it widely for qualitative research. So this method is used for qualitative research. There are some methods in non-probability sampling. First one, convenience sampling. It is a non-probability sampling where samples are selected from the population only because they are conveniently available to the researcher. So the samples are conveniently available to the researcher. Researchers select these samples because they are easy to recruit and the researcher did not consider selecting a sample that represents the entire population. For example, you want to collect some data regarding consumer satisfaction. You are visiting a supermarket. You are meeting the consumers at present in the supermarket. Collect the data. It is a simple example of convenience sampling. Then judgmental sampling or purposive sampling. In this case, the samples are selected by the researcher based on his knowledge and credibility. Researchers select only those people or those samples who they deem fit to participate in the research study. So, the samples are selected based on the judgment. by the researcher about a particular sample. So judgment sampling is focused on the researcher's judgment to select a particular sample. Then another non-probability sampling method is snowball sampling. It is also known as chain referral sampling. So this method is applied when the samples are very difficult to be identified and selected. In this case, one primary data source nominate another potential primary data source to be used in the research. For example, in the case of some situation, we identify a person with that particular features. Then we will select another sample based on the reference of that person. So snowball sampling is a method is based on referral, that means recommendation from the initial sample to generate additional sample. So നമ്മൾ ഒരാളെ ആ പർട്ടിക്കുലർ ഫീച്ചറുള്ള ഒരാളെ ഐഡൻറ്റിഫൈ ചെയ്യുന്നു, അയാളിൽ നിന്ന് നമ്മൾ മറ്റ് ആൾക്കാരെ ഐഡൻറ്റിഫൈ ചെയ്യുകയും അവരുടെ അടുത്തുനിന്ന് ഡാറ്റ കളക്ട് ചെയ്യുകയും ചെയ്യുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ ഒരാൾ റെഫർ ചെയ്യുന്ന അതേ ഫീച്ചേഴ്സുള്ള മറ്റാൾക്കാരിൽ നിന്നാണ് നമ്മൾ ഡാറ്റ കളക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അത്തരം മെത്തേഡാണ് ഈ പറയുന്ന പിന്നെ സ്നോബോൾ സാമ്പിളിംഗ്. നെക്സ്റ്റ് വൺ ഈസ് ക്വോട്ട സാമ്പിളിംഗ്. If the actual selection of sample from the strata is left to the interviewer's judgment, it is called quota sampling. So we want to select certain items from each quota. The size of the quota will be proportionate to the size of the strata. For example, in a class there are 50 students, 30 boys and 20 girls. So we want to select representative samples from each group. So we will select more students from boys category and less students from the girls category based on their proportion. So quota sampling is also a non-probability sampling. Then sequential sampling. It is a sampling based on mathematical decision rules or through software techniques. The ultimate size of the sample will not be fixed in advance. The size is not fixed in advance but determined according to the mathematical decision rules. So the sample number is finalized based on the mathematical calculation. So these are the important types of sampling methods. There are two types of methods: probability sampling and non-probability sampling. The various types of samplings are discussed in this class. Thank you.